spinning circle. Oh, and it is live.
The stream is live. All
It's
right.
live. Guys, fight commentary breakdowns. This is Hurricane Santana. I just remember because I was like, what is your first name? It's Xavier with an X. Xavier Hurricane Santana. Welcome,
like
man.
Professor Xavier from X-Men, you know?
That's a good way to remember.
Not balding and no wheelchair at the moment.
Yeah. So this is a good time to kind of just introduce Xavier, aka Hurricane Santana. First of all, Hurricane Santana, he fights for FightersRep, and you've done other stuff too, but he's about to have a fight in June with FightersRep. And then I asked him, I was like, do you want to do an interview before or after? He's like, oh, right before is fine. So let's start with that. So how's the prep going with that?
It's going great, man. I'm excited. You know, different territory. I'm going into enemy territory halfway across the country. So it's you know, it's gonna be fun. I'm coming from South Florida. You know what I mean?
First of all, welcome to California from a Californian.
Thank you, man. First time in LA, so I don't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? I've been to LAX, the airport, but never off the I don't know. I've heard stories where it's like, dude, don't wear certain colors, but we'll see how that goes. You know
I mean? That's pretty funny, bro. I love it. Yeah, that is hilarious, bro. Okay, yeah. So your first time going to be fighting in LA. How did you get in touch with our man George Francis?
Funny story. I actually got in touch with him through a friend of mine named Israel Cantoon. He does ring rentals out of here in South Florida. He was George was actually moving to Florida to do he wanted to start more FightersRep down here. So they messaged me in order to be the matchmaker for the state of South Florida. So I'm actually the matchmaker of state of South Florida right now currently. So but yeah, that's how we got to know each other through text and then calls. He was still living in Cali whenever I would call, give him like, you know, really introduce, get to know the guy. Then when he finally came down here, we hooked up. It was just nothing but, you know, nothing but love, man. Jokes all day, and that's it, dude. And after that, he's like, dude, what the hell? You fight and you can do this? Everyone knows you. This is cool as hell. So,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I mean, let's start and talk about your opponent. Have you done research? I mean, I'm assuming you've done research on your opponent.
Yeah, right? I've done a little bit of research. I saw his last fight he did 6 months ago. He did really good. He likes to do jumping, you know, he likes to spin. You know,
so this is gonna be one of those matches, lots of flair potentially.
Yeah. So I'm just like, okay, me being with a Sanda background, you know, we can catch kick and take down or catch kick and sweep. So I'm like, okay, I can't catch this guy. We're in kickboxing rules now. So it's like I gotta think differently, set up differently, where it's like I'm so used to catching kicks. And now it's like, let's try to block, counter off that, and build from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but he's exactly. A very technical fighter, not very boxing wise. I didn't see too much. I know he loves to kick. I know he loves the front kick and the rear roundhouse followed by that spinning back kick combination a lot. But other than that, he's very interesting. He's a switcher, likes to switch style, you know, from orthodox to southpaw. So I was like, okay, now you're making my brain think. Okay, this is a very interesting. It's gonna be an interesting fight. Two traditional stylists. You know, from what I've heard, he started in street beefs. I never, you know, I've seen videos of street beefs on YouTube. They've come up on my feed, but I never really got into it because for me that was like, oh, that's like freaking Backyard with Kimbo Slice. I've been new about that. So.
I see. Yeah. I'm just looking to see how many times our man Michael, aka Mook Mitchell, has fought on FightersRep. It looks like he's done it at least twice that I see.
I think I saw once he fought Anderson Silva's son with headgear.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one I see.
That's the video I saw. Okay, that was the video that you commented about. And that's just like, dude, I'm gonna follow him. Like he actually is starting to talk more about Sanda and other styles. It's not just okay, Muay Thai this, Muay Thai. Okay, what else is there? I need something different, you know? I really love your channel, especially the way how you break everything down, all different styles of fighting. I did love that Shoutout video, man. Dude.
Oh, the most recent one,
dude. I've been following that stuff for a while now, years, and no one really breaks that stuff down to the T.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's my kind of goal because first of all, I can talk to him if I want to, but I don't know if I should talk to him. because people monitor him, right? And obviously, I don't say anything too controversial, but I don't want to give people reason in China to have tea with him more. You know what I mean? So I have him. I can talk to him whenever, but I don't try to talk to him too much because everything's monitored. I don't want people to think like he's always talking to Americans and like trying to go and give them more.
Yeah, you know how that goes, and it gets political, and it's like, ugh.
So especially now, there's just too much. Conflict is the wrong word, but it is kind of the right word, dude. There's too much conflict in this world right now. Like people like you and I just want to do martial arts and do other things. Like stop trying to involve us in more grand scheme of things. We don't want to care. It's not that we don't care, but we don't have enough attention / whatever mental to care.
That's true. Like the old saying goes, friendship through martial arts.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way I've always seen it. It's like, we're in there to compete. We're in there to kill each other, see who's the best of the best. But at the end of the day, it's a martial art. It's a style, friendship through it. You know what I'm saying?
So this is the perfect kind of transition. Let's talk about how you got into martial arts. Was your first style a Kung Fu based style, or was it something different?
My first style. Oh my God, dude, we're going back. We're going back years. I like this. Woohoo! All right, so we're going back to I was 6 years old when I started Shotokan Karate out of JMK over here in Lighthouse Point in South Florida. Then I was there for from the time I was 6 to 12 years old. I think I was 12. I made it to I remember as a kid, I think I made it to brown belt, but as a kid, you don't care about it. As you get older, you get more outside of martial arts.
Yeah.
I believe I was a brown belt. I do not know where the certifications were. All I know is I probably threw them out as a kid. I was like, oh, I don't want this. So, but I got into Shotokan Karate. Then once I hit like middle school is when I started to watch YouTube start to come out. You know what I mean? I'm a 90s kid, so that's when I was right in the flare, everything's starting to kick. So YouTube came out, and then the thing what really got me into kickboxing was K1. I grew up watching K1. I was like, yo, I want to go there. I want to fight for Japan. I want to do this. So as I got older, I remember I was 14, 15 years old. I went back to Shotokan Karate. I was doing that for a little bit till my teacher passed away. Then I was 16 years old. I went to Punch Fitness, a gym out here in Deerfield Beach, Florida. I went to check that out. I had messaged him like, hey, I just, first time, blah, blah, blah. I went to check it out, and I fell in love with it. The first coach I had was Troy Gonzalez. He was a Kung Fu teacher out of Jamaica.
Wow.
He was Jamaican and I think Jewish, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while, but he was the first one to teach me. It was Sanda based, all Sanda. So he was literally my first, the go-to guy I learned when it came to certain things for Sanda, and also from buying Kung Lee's Sanshou book. I still have it somewhere.
Wow, look at that.
I was always researching on YouTube, like, combinations, Sanda videos. It was I remember, for example, Louis Halong when he fought Robert, I think it was Robert Kairos, some Russian guy. This is a video. I can literally tell you the date I watched the video, which is even crazier. It was like probably December 6th of 2007. I watched it. I stumbled upon the YouTube video. I started educating myself more about Sanda because I fell in love with the style. I was like, damn, this is cool. This is something. Yes and no, it's not like traditional Kung Fu, but it's a mix. You know what I mean? So it really caught my interest, especially with the wrestling, catching kicks. I was like, wait, I can catch someone's kick and throw him? Oh my God. So I fell in love with the sport since then. And my base has been literally from my mixture of Shotokan with the bouncy footwork and blitzing in forward, of course. It's been Sanda in that ever since I was 16 until 32 now? Yeah, Jesus, I'm getting old. Damn, I ain't got any gray hairs yet. Hold on, let me check. But dude.
Wow, I mean, you've had probably more Sanda experience than most people in the U.S. could ever get because Sanda is just not as popular in the U.S. as I wish it could have been.
Like, I remember my first fight, I was not even 19 years old. I was probably like 18 and a half. It was ICMAC, International Chinese Martial Arts Championships, out here in Orlando. My first fight ever. I fought probably, I think once that day. I lost by decision, but it was a learning lesson because I was like, bouncing from learning from YouTube and having a coach. When you're young, you don't have finances like that to really take care of you during
Yeah.
get ready to train. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, man, very
Wow.
interesting adventure. I mean, 2011, 2012 was my second tournament for Sanda. I fought a guy from Barbados. No, I fought the Barbados team three times actually.
Mm-hmm.
I fought the guy from the national team from Barbados. I think it was Lee Martil. I fought him in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. I lost by decision. Then I beat him. Probably a few years later at the same tournament. And these guys, I mean, they're bringing people from all over the world, all over the world. I've fought probably my third tournament was 2016 or 17. I fought one of the national team guys from Costa Rica. I mean, not
Wow.
Costa Rica, Colombia, from Colombia. And I
Wow.
won that one, and I placed third place for International Chinese Martial Arts Championship.
So is Sanda big in places like Colombia? I mean, I didn't even know they had
Yes,
Sanda.
yes, it's big. It's big.
Wow.
It's big. It's big over there. It's very big in the Philippines. It's big in Dagestan, of course.
Uh-huh.
I met a fighter from Dagestan. He's a coach out here through George, which I was like, yo, I gotta train Sanda with him eventually because that dude's no joke.
Uh-huh.
But it's big over there.
It's just so funny. You think about the things that are big in countries that you wouldn't even think about. Like, first of all, when you said Sada in Colombia, I'm like, what? They have Sada in Colombia?
It gets crazier. I got more stories, man. I got more stories, bro.
Wow.
Trust me. I fought 2019. I fought in Barbados against the national team guy, which is really cool. They had people from Saint Martinique, Turks and Caicos, like countries you don't expect. You're like, Sanda, what?
Yeah.
So it was interesting, man. Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, as I was just looking you up, you had a match with Devin Lee, right?
Yes, with Devin Lee back in June of last year.
Oh, okay. So that was not with FightersRep.
No, that was not with FightersRep.
Oh, this is because you're Florida. So this was probably with a Florida promotion.
Yes, that was a Florida promotion. Correct.
Oh, that makes sense. It was just so funny because, I forgot George told me that there's going to be like an East versus West type of thing in FightersRep.
Yeah.
It's just like, I forgot that you are the guy from the East. So I kept being like,
Yeah.
okay, he like Santana must be training somewhere in California. And then it's like,
Nah,
you told me in the city of Florida. I was like, oh,
nah,
Santana's
man.
our Florida
Listen,
man.
with y'all expensive taxes over there, nah, I ain't going to
Yeah, I feel you, man. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
man.
So the match you did with Devin Lee was more Muay Thai rules, right? It looks like.
It was crazy because the day of the fight, they wanted to ask what rule set we wanted to fight in.
What?
I'm like, what the fuck? We agreed to regular K1 kickboxing rules. They're like, oh, the promoter's like, oh no, you could do your style Sanda versus this. I was like, what? Like, this is you literally making me go to meet my opponent in person and talk to him before we go fight. What?
Wow.
So it was that was actually I should have never taken that fight because that day he actually was a very, very last minute replacement because the dude I was supposed to fight two guys. They pulled out. The original guy pulled out for an injury on the foot. The second guy, as I'm driving to weigh-ins, he pulled out.
What?
Yeah. So Devin Lee, originally I was supposed to fight. I weighed in at 155. He weighed in at 165. So
Yeah, he looks bigger. I'm watching it as you're talking. He looked bigger. That's why I was confused.
Big weight class and height difference.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this? So yeah, man.
Man, sometimes it's just unfortunate because a lot of times local promotions, right? This stuff happens. It's just part of the local promotion experience. So yeah. Wow.
My last Sanda fight was actually in Georgia under Shifu Deru, former U.S. National coach back from 1999 and the early 2000s. The guy I fought weighed in at 175, which was interesting because it was open U.S. It was U.S. Open Martial Arts Championship, so I guess they had an open weight class. Hey, it was a tough fight, but it was good. It was good,
Yeah. Wow. So I guess this is a good place to ask, what is your ultimate goal? I mean, you said you kind of want to fight for K1, you want to fight in Japan and stuff. Do you have any other goals now? Because those were kind of when you were younger.
Yeah,
What is your
now that
kind of
I've
goal
got
now?
it's funny, now that I've gotten older, I've been pushing more for Sanda to be known here. Like I've actually wanted to go pro in kickboxing and Sanda, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I've actually planned probably 2 or 3 fights, and then I'm kind of debating between just doing my own thing, starting a promotion for Sanda in the US. Because I was like, I don't really need to fight pro as much anymore. I'm 32, almost 33. Have a business, and now I'm a matchmaker for FightersRep. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like, don't really need to hurt myself for what?
Yeah.
What is it gonna bring me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I was younger, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go, let's go. Now that I'm older, I'm like, damn, damn, my body hurt. Damn,
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think that's a great goal, trying to bring Sanda more to the US or just in general,
yeah,
raising
man, like
its
I'll fight in China. I'm
notoriety.
down for that. I'm definitely down to fight in China.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
that too, man, dude. If you go because like it's always cool when it's like
Hmm.
a foreign person who studies that art goes, right? And of
Oh
course,
yeah.
they're gonna try everything to try to make you lose. And it's like if you could just keep safe
Yep.
somehow, get a good entourage, and like that's like that in itself is worth documenting.
Yeah, man, it's true. Very true. I was like my nickname probably the Guaylo, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's that mean? White ghost.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty interesting because just hurricane, like
Mm,
I probably if I were to give you a Chinese nickname, I wouldn't call you typhoon, right? Typhoon means hurricane.
mm,
A better word would be 旋风 because there's a kick in
mm.
that the Chinese translate into 旋风腿, sort of
Mm.
like vortex kick. So
Yeah.
you could just be 旋风. That could be your Chinese Sanda
Oh,
name,
that sounds
旋风.
cool. Hold on. I
Yeah,
kinda like
because
that.
typhoon doesn't sound as cool as 旋风. Let me type this to you right now while we
Yo, for real. Hold on. Trademarking that, boys and girls.
旋风. Here, this would be your nickname, 旋风. So for those of you who can see in the chat, 旋风, 旋风. That would be his nickname, 旋风.
Love
So
it.
yeah. You could also be 龙卷风, which means tornado, but that's too generic,
Yeah,
like
it's too, you want something that pops out like pop
yeah,
art, you know what I mean?
yeah. And
Yeah.
the key is 旋风, just 2 characters, 旋风.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that could be your nickname. But yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, I think you definitely have a lot of great things to do when it comes to being a pioneer in Sanda because I think before Kung Lee, very few people in the mainstream knew
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Sanda, right?
Mhm.
And people still mistake because some people still think Kung Lee's more like a Taekwondo, which is true. Kung Lee did a lot of
Yeah,
Taekwondo, but
he did a lot of taekwondo, and I think I still have that video saved on YouTube somewhere. He did a fight for, I think it was like Shidokan something. Shidokan rules where they did something where they had the gi on for like one round. Next round they went to kickboxing. Next round was like boxing. I was like, wait, what the is this?
yeah, 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 exactly. So tell me about the fight prep process. We mentioned it earlier when we were kind of just
Mm,
bringing you in.
mm.
Do you mostly train based on what your next opponent is? Or is it more just like, okay, I'm just going to train for whatever? Because we all know in the amateur circuit,
Mm,
unfortunately, a lot of fighters drop out. And so there's a lot of unpredictability.
mm.
So, how do you train a fight camp for, let's say, your next fight?
That's a very good question. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I'm lazy when it comes to video. Sometimes I'll look at it once or twice, like I don't need to see anymore. And they're like, why? I'm like, because I already see what he can do. Nothing new to me. I've been in the game for what 2011 till now, so it's like I've seen a lot. So I'm like, okay, he does this, he does that, but it just makes me think. It's all at the end of the day, it's a mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So how I prepare for an opponent, I just like, hey, whatever you're gonna throw, I gotta counter it. That's it. Not very simple. Nothing. Oh, I gotta start doing this. I gotta do that. Why not? It's always stay ready. Never train for something. Always be ready.
Yeah, I see.
Mhm.
That's great. Um, Are you the type that has to cut weight, or are you the type that tries to go up in weight?
I'm the type that I like to stay at a level at a weight class where I can easily cut. I
Okay.
never like to be too heavy where I'm like, oh my god, I'm dying. Where it's like, nah, me 5 pounds is the most I most cut, or 10 pounds, because I'm always right there. Like 163, I normally fight at 155. So it's like, I'm at 163, I fight at 55, this ain't nothing.
Oh,
6,
that
7
makes
pounds, I'm
sense.
good. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, because we all know people who, let's say, they're like 6'2" and they are big, and somehow they cut all the way down to 155 or something. Like
Yep.
it happens, right?
Yep. I've seen
And
it. You're like, what the hell is that?
yeah, it's like you see a mismatch in the ring. Like one guy you can tell like is probably walking around at around that weight, and this guy who's 6'2" is like probably walking around like 170, 180. So
Yeah, you can see, like, yo, for example, Devin Lee, I was like, that ain't a 165er, bro. He's at least 190. Like, what the hell?
yeah, so that's one of the things that I think as people who like combat sports, we always think about, because, for example, one championship, they have a no weight cut rule, right? So like sometimes some promotions are trying to stop the weight cutting thing, but then I'm sure there's arguments for weight cutting. I don't know what they are, but I'm sure there's arguments for it too.
Yeah, they have. I mean, no, I know. I remember reading an article. One guy died from ONE FC. He was a fighter. He died. I think he cut too much weight, or something happened where the dude ended up dying. And now they want you rehydrate and weigh. I was like, huh, interesting. Now,
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's actually talk about this, since I forgot to follow up on it when you mentioned it. So you are already kind of a fight promoter, right? You're helping
I'm the
FightersRep and stuff like
matchmaker.
that. Matchmaker, that's the word.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. And what's your process in matchmaking? I think that's always a fun question that a lot of people would learn a lot from.
Process. Well, I normally look at fighters and see their weight classes, of course, fight record, height, and I match them. I'm like, I call the coach up. Hey, I got an opponent. This is the info. Would you like it? They say yes or no. Sometimes it's always a yes for me, because half the coaches out here, they know me. They're like, X, I know you. I got you. We're there. You know what I mean? So it's kind
Wow.
of, that's another bonus where it's like, you've been around the game for so long, where it's like you make a call. It's like, bro, you start when I was an amateur. I'm a coach now. I retired as a pro. Like, of course I'll send you fighters. Like, there's no issue. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing good about, again, Hurricane Santana's in Florida is that Florida has a very big martial arts community.
insane. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, so that's good. And there's a lot of styles, and Florida has a lot of diversity too. So you get a lot of different types of styles, a lot of different communities who love different types of martial arts. So I can only assume that, I know MMA is big in Florida, but I can only assume that boxing is probably really big in Florida too.
Oh God, we don't talk about that. Boxing's a whole different animal, man. Jesus, these guys. I know Palm Beach Boxing, Delray Boxing Club. We have Canino's Boxing and Karate. We also have what's her name? Oh my God, her name. Velez Boxing, Puerto Rican style boxing. She's a former WBA, W something boxing champion from Puerto Rico. So she brings that style from authentic boxing from Puerto Rico over to the States, which is really insane. Really insane.
Wow. What's
So,
the difference between like a Puerto Rican style and like a Mexican style? Are they sort of similar or very different?
they're very different. Very
Okay.
different. I know my peoples, we like to bang it out, throw hooks. We have very nasty hooks. Like, for example, what's his name? Tito Trinidad. He was known for that left hook, I believe, or that right hook.
I see. Yeah, I'm writing this down right now. I love to, as I start just getting better at my commentary, I start looking at these little nuances, right? These are interesting. So yeah, like that's
Like,
really
you
cool.
need Sanda fights to break down. Oh, like, dude, I'm like an encyclopedia. I can tell you the name and how to Google them easily.
Dude, that could be a collab we do in the future. Let's look at some Sanda stuff together. It could be something where I'll look at it and then I'll be like, okay, here's our guest commentator, our guest expert, Xavier Santana, and then you could kind of have a segment. I'll insert you so you could provide your own kind of analysis angles that I don't get. So I think that's a really cool collab we can do in the future.
Definitely, dude. Definitely.
Yeah, especially in the Chinese circuit, you always see like dumb, traditional, delusional people take on the Sanda guys, right? So, like,
That
obviously,
is
I'm gonna break down that, but you could break down what the Sanda guys do. Like, I don't focus on
dude.
that. You could
It's
break. Okay,
funny.
this is the.
It's funny that you say that. I
Yeah.
actually just got done sparring a guy today that's fighting for our show this Saturday. He's a kung fu guy, Wing Chun. So
Woo,
we
that's
went
gonna
at
be
it.
fun.
Yeah, yeah. So we went at it today, and he's always a pain in my ass. Always a fucking pain in my ass. He's always switching up, and he's now been incorporating a lot of the Sanda sidekick.
Wow.
So he's incorporated that Sanda sidekick. I'm like, hold on, this guy is actually becoming a problem.
Wow. Is he
Yeah.
fighting a karate guy? I believe. Who's he
He's
fighting?
fighting a Muay Thai guy. He's
Oh,
fighting yeah. I was actually about to email you that earlier. I was like, hey, I forgot to tell you, but we got this Kung Fu versus Muay Thai on Saturday.
wow. Wow. Okay,
Mhm.
because I remember when I interviewed George Francis told me there was going to be a kung fu guy, and I guess I just thought it was going to be you because you're Sanda, but there's actually going to be
Now,
like a more
yeah,
traditional kung fu guy.
yeah, there was
Oh,
the other Kung Fu guy that was supposed to fight for that you spoke to George about. He actually ended up having to pull out because he had some
oh,
family issue going on. But I know from what he told me, he's interested in fighting probably sometime this year. I know
uh-huh.
he's going back to China to earn his Chinese medicine. He wants to finish it up because he did live in China for about 2 years.
Wow.
So
I see. Wow. So anyways, since you just very quickly going back to the Puerto Rican
yes.
style, since you got me on that. So
You're
they call it the Puerto Rican left hook, huh? That's pretty funny.
dude, literally, if you had time, I would say, bro, we can watch a video right now of Tito Trinidad on that hook.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna write these names down because Miguel Cotto, I guess, is one that
Yes.
people think of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Miguel Cotto, Felix Tito Trinidad's a boxer before Miguel Cotto from like the 90s.
Oh.
So he's an OG. Then it was Miguel Cotto. Then we had Felix Verdejo, but then he's in jail now. He fell off.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
see.
And then I know we have another couple Puerto Rican boxers that are based out of Davie, Florida, out here.
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh.
I haven't really seen much. You know, I mean, it's kind of hard to navigate. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah, exactly. Well, cool. I mean, maybe that's a video we do next. Like, we'll look at some cool Puerto Rican boxing styles, and then we'll be like, "Oh, Hurricane Santana is gonna explain something." Like,
definitely,
I
dude.
think that's a perfect video for us to do in the future.
Definitely, dude. I can
Yeah.
agree. We'll be having jokes all day. Like, hey, where's my coquito? I need my drink. You know what I'm saying?
so,
So
so you're Puerto Rican.
yes, I'm Puerto
Oh
Rican. My
wow,
wife's
that's cool.
Filipino. My wife's
Wow.
Filipino. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I see. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's pretty funny because I thought you were Filipino, so your wife's Filipino. That's pretty funny.
I mean, I do know a little bit of Tagalog. You know, like como
Uh-huh.
está. Like she has taught me bits and pieces, but when it comes to a whole conversation, nah.
Wow. Does your wife do any martial arts?
She's giving evil eye right now. I mean, if it includes a sandal, chancleta, then yeah, she probably doesn't martial arts.
Chancleta. Yeah. I mean,
You know,
chancletas, they're tough, man. This,
bro,
yeah.
dog, all I can say is don't ever get a Filipino angry woman, bro. When they get angry that chancleta's flying, it's like, how? How? How?
That's so funny. Wow. Wow.
She
So,
sorry to cut you off. She
yeah,
knows
go ahead.
some stuff. Like she portrays that she doesn't, which has surprised me. It has surprised me. She has kicked my ass a couple times. I'm like, I didn't know you can kick that high. What the hell? Like she ran him do a head kick and like, huh? Leaves me dumbfounded. But I do know
Yeah.
not to give her sharp objects. That's Filipinos are very good with sharp objects.
Yeah. Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah. So your first time fighting in California, did George Francis warn you at all about California fighters?
Ah, he told me it was gonna be the hometown crowd. I'm gonna be
Uh-huh.
hated. Um, then I had some other friends of mine. Hey, don't wear certain colors because you would get killed for it. I'm like, what? the fuck? Like, bro, I'm like, I was like, dude, I fought in a different country in Barbados. I fought like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I just looked at him like, what? It was funny. He told me, yeah, California crowd's gonna hate me. What else? I forget what else he said. He said some
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny. I was like, George, what I need to be aware of, and how are fighters out there in Cali? They're very respectful. They're from the hood, dude. My mentality was like, damn, dude, I'm going to Cali. These guys probably gonna be from the hood, have that street mentality. Oh, what's up, dude? Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So like, oh, great, I'm gonna fight one of those guys. But it
Yeah.
was funny during the press conference I had with my opponent. I was like, damn, he's respectful. I was like, what? It was shocking. You don't see that in this day and age when it comes to martial arts, especially down here in Florida in the MMA world or even boxing or kickboxing. Everyone's in their face, hey, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you. It's always,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
mhm.
This is interesting. I'll talk to George Francis about this. Well,
Mhm.
maybe on the 8th, I'll actually come and I'll film a little bit. It might actually
Definitely,
be cool.
dude.
And then you and I
Definitely,
can like meet up and
definitely,
stuff
bro.
like that.
That'd be cool, man. I'll be staying at the venue. I'll be staying
Ah,
there. So
okay. Perfect. Yeah, because I've always sometimes when my friends drive, I've passed by the Commerce. I've always wanted to check it
mhm,
out.
mhm.
And then this is perfect. I can bring my good camera. We can film
Heck
some
yeah,
stuff.
dude.
It'd be really cool. And then yeah, this might be a perfect trip for me to come down to the Commerce and then
Mhm.
yeah. So for those of you watching, stay tuned. Maybe Jerry's gonna go visit Fighters Rep, and then we can get as many people on camera as we want. I mean,
Let's
hopefully the hand will
do
be
it.
okay, but whatever. Even if the hand's not okay, I'll just wear the brace and stuff like that.
Don't forget, guys, get your fight commentary breakdown t-shirt.
Yeah,
Support the
exactly.
man. You know what I
And
mean?
I think I have it worked out with George.
Mhm.
If you guys pay, because it's gonna be for members only, right? On the Fighters Rep channel.
Yes, on the
Yeah.
Fighters
So
Hub YouTube channel, yes, you
yeah.
have to pay.
So if viewers kind of just tell George, if they pay for it and tell George that hey, fight commentary breakdown sent them, like I forgot, I've been so busy recently, but
Mhm.
I was gonna tell my audience, dude, you guys should go and then like to tell George that I sent you. So like I'll
Of
try to
course,
drive
man.
some audience over, especially now it's just 2 weeks or less than
It's a
two
week
weeks
away.
away. Yeah, a week
Next week.
away.
Yeah, man, it's
Yeah.
exciting. Next week, you get to fly out. It's gonna be a long flight. No, it's what, 5 hours?
Yeah, it depends on if you have transfers or not. Hopefully, it's just you don't have any transfers.
From what I saw, it's a 5 hour flight. I was like,
Okay,
geez,
then you don't have any transfers. That's good.
oh my god, it reminds me
Yeah,
when I flew to the Philippines. That was intense. That
yeah.
was an
Philippines
intense
is probably
flight.
16 hours, huh?
No, oh, no, 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 dude. I can literally tell you, I flew what 2015 to the Philippines. At what? I think 2 stops. I flew from Fort Lauderdale to Detroit, from Detroit, Michigan to LAX, from LAX to Japan, and then from Japan to Manila in the Philippines.
Ooh, okay, that's like 23 hours or something crazy.
32 hours and
Oh,
33 minutes.
woo.
Was I asleep? Hell no. I
Yeah.
couldn't
Ugh.
sleep, dude. Hell no. First time
Wow.
flying internationally by yourself, you can't sleep, man. You don't know what's gonna
Yeah.
go down. You're like, yo, I don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Wow. Do you so let's say the week before the fight,
Mm.
are you pretty well rested or are you one of those that gets anxious? Tell me about that.
I'm pretty well rested and anxious. Well, anxious because tomorrow we have weigh-ins for our Fighters Rep 23 down here in Florida. So I'm
Uh-huh.
anxious for the show. So that does put a little stress on me because I do get last minute, fighters pull out, fighters get hurt, coaches will call me. It's like, dude, I gotta get ready for a fight in a week. And then you guys are just it's all about balance. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I do have that. Am I restless, anxious for the show, anxious for the fight? Not really. I just want to get in there.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
want to get in there and show my worth. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah. I think what's really great about what you're doing, but also it shows how much credit we got to give you is you're pulling double duty because you're both organizing and
yeah,
you're fighting. Like
yeah.
that's
It's
hard.
stressful, bro. You don't understand the amount of times they called me, text me in the middle of me training. It's like, dude, I can't answer you, or I'm like, all right, I gotta go, guys. Like these guys keep blowing up my phone. It's my equilibrium's gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. exactly. How many fights are there going to be on Fighters Rep 23?
I can let me show you. Hold on. Let me count. Let me check my phone because I have the sheet right here.
Wow.
Let's see. We have 14 fights.
Okay, that's pretty good amount, man.
For our second show, the first show we ended up having 12, and George was not expecting. He's like, "Dude, for your first show, 12? What the hell?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Bro, I've been around the game. I know people. Like, it's just my name." He's like, "Oh, it's exactly. Yeah, I'll fight. Yeah, no problem. It's, you know what I mean." So
yeah. So, next weekend is George coming over too with you?
he's gonna be in Cali, I believe.
Okay, cool.
He's already gonna be there. I
Okay,
believe. I
perfect.
mean,
So,
from what I
dude,
know, I'm fighting for a title, and a couple pros are fighting for a title as well.
okay. Perfect. Okay, awesome. I think that's more reason for me to come down then. I'll message George real quickly after this. I'll tell him because I get to see you and I get to see George. That's kind
Definitely,
of
man.
cool.
You gotta come out and support,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Support the community. Get your name out there as well. It's all publicity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all more publicity for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. And for me, I just sometimes it's fun too, just to watch and just to meet people and then
of course, man.
yeah.
Meet different folks from different strokes. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
yeah.
So does your wife usually come with you to the competitions you go to?
Yes. Funny story. She has. She
Mm-hmm.
may hate it. She may not like me fight. Like me fighting, but she has been about recently to almost all my fights, and she's been the one to record, which is even crazier.
Wow.
Even when she records, she's like, "Oh, when you got hit," I'm like, I'm like, it's funny and adorable at the same time. But she's one of my biggest low key fans and supporter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So really appreciate that.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. I guess we'll spend the last part of this interview. Let's talk more about Sanda.
Oh
So
yes,
yeah, I mean, let's do it, man.
let's do it, dude. Let's
The
dive into
Sanda
it.
you started out learning, what was it about that Sanda that sort of drew you to it? Was it the training method? Was it the coach? Was it just certain moves? Tell me about it.
The training method, and then the overall style. Because I growing up as a kid, I always was into Chinese movies. Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jet Li. I was always into the kung fu stuff. So
Uh-huh.
that's funny how I got into karate because of that. Because at the time there was no kung fu school near me when I was
Mhm.
growing up. So I
Mhm.
was like, okay, well, I guess I'll go do Shotokan karate, whatever. But what really attracted to me was just the overall mix, how it was more modernized. It wasn't what I used to see with traditional kung fu. You know what I mean? Like we see now, like you said, with Dong exposing all those other. So it's like, this is what I wanted, where it's like, okay, it's more modern, it's more realistic. You know what I mean? And I fell in love with it. I just been hooked ever since, like a little kid to to a candy bar.
What was the first month like when you started Sanda? What did they teach
Ooh,
you first? Was it
first
not even
month,
punches? Was it like basic stuff, like conditioning stuff?
it was basic stuff like conditioning. Then I did the cardio aspect. We had like cardio kickboxing to learn how to punch, learn how to kick. And I was always watching YouTube videos. I was
Mhm.
like always educating myself from YouTube. I was like, oh, I want to see how this is done. And I would constantly watch something on YouTube and learn how to do it from there.
This is so interesting too, because it sounds like YouTube was very important in your fighter's journey. Like you picked up a lot from watching YouTube.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's combinations I picked up from YouTube, fights, everything you can think of. I thank YouTube a lot. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Because growing up, I was literally like a bookworm. Not necessarily a nerd, more of a ghetto. Had my moments, did all the bad stuff, but other than that, I was always into books. I was always into
Mhm.
reading and stuff. So
Mhm. Is there a Sanda combo or a bunch of them that has stuck to you all these years? I mean, we
oh
won't
my god,
reveal anything
I
for
could
potential opponents to do research on, but are there certain Sanda moves or even Sanda throws that you love? I guess we can talk about throws since there's no throws in your next match, so he can't do
the
research
scissor
on it.
sweep, the legendary
Oh,
scissor
the
sweep.
scissor
Yes,
sweep.
sir, dude.
Okay.
Oh my god, the scissor sweep. There's the other one where you the I can't get up and demonstrate you right now. It's kind of hard to get up, but there's also you catch a leg kick, sweep, or come with a two, then throw them on their butt. So there's a lot of different combinations,
Mhm. Mhm. I
especially
see.
for takedowns. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, exactly. Um, is it 36 takedowns. How many takedowns are there in the system you learned?
Oh God, I think it's about 36, maybe 40.
Okay. Okay.
Because I know I've seen recently they've added more stuff.
Oh, good. Good.
They've added more different takedowns. They're like, what? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah. As the sport evolves, they should add more. So that's great. Do you think there? I'll be diplomatic how we say this. Do you think Sanda has given you any weaknesses per se that you had to fill in as you started to keep training, as you started learning?
Sanda gave me weaknesses. Not necessarily. It gave me more of a
Mhm.
strong base, a strong
Mhm.
foundation when it
Mhm.
came to catching kicks, kicking, blitzing in and out. Also from my Shotokan background. But I did know I was catching kicks a lot, even during
Um,
fights. So that's kind of a very bad habit. But at the same time, you start to learn to grow out. Like, oh, okay, so I can catch, but instead of throwing, I can counter with a kick or a punch. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
mhm.
Yeah. And in kickboxing rules, you can catch, right? But you have to kind of release it, right? That's how it works.
It's like a three. If you catch, you got to attack. It's like you get
Oh,
3 seconds, almost like a 3 second clinch, like they do in K1.
okay.
So
I see. That makes sense. So it's like if you have that skill, it's good. Okay. Okay. How do I
yeah,
translate into something? You
correct.
know?
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that too. That was a nice too, Jerry. I mean, oh,
It's because this
oh,
hand. So I had to, I was like,
oh shit.
in my current thing is my left hand. I have to Philly shell it, you know. But with the Philly
I
shell, I
was,
can't throw a
yeah,
free
I was
jab.
like, hold on. He did that a little too perfect. Philly shot. What you doing there, Jerry?
Yeah. How often? So is there a Sanda community around you? Are you basically the only Sanda guy that always spars fellow kickboxers and Muay Thai people right now? As in,
Oh God. Yeah, I would say yes and no. I mean, there is a Kung Fu gym out of over here in John Y, but they are more now MMA and Muay Thai based. They used to be Sanda, but the coach, I don't think he does it anymore to a
mm-hmm,
certain degree. I'm not 100% sure. I do know their base style is Choi Lei Foot Kung Fu,
mm-hmm.
and then we do have Lin Ku Hung Choi Lei Foot out here, but their
Wow,
Sanda is not what it used to be. So there's a couple schools here and there, but not as it's not as a tight community like it was back then.
wow.
You know, what I
That's
mean, I
surprising too. That you named two Choi Li Fu schools off the top of your head. So it looks like Choi Li Fu is pretty big in Florida.
oh yeah, yeah. Like Lee Kun Hung himself lived here. His main school is actually here in Sunrise. Rest in peace, Lee Kun Hung. But yeah, his main school's still here. He has one here,
Wow.
and he has another school in Boynton Beach.
That's crazy because I mean when I discovered Choi Li Fu, right, I was
Hmm.
like, oh, I gotta find a school in the LA area, and I don't think I found any. I was like,
It's
out of
hard.
yeah,
It's
it was like,
very difficult.
yeah, yeah. So like the fact that you just named two in Florida, I'm like, wow. If I wanted to learn Choi Li Fu, I didn't move to Florida.
Dude, I can. There's that, and then there's another one up in Boynton, not Boynton, Boca. I forget the
Uh,
dude's name because he's a former student of Lee Kun Hung, but he opened up his own school.
wow.
John, no, there's John Y, and there's what's his name? Sifu Keat John, I believe.
Hmm.
But
Wow. Yeah.
anyways, yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm just looking this up because again, it's just Choi Li Fu's one of those Chinese martial arts that it's so should have become like the thing, because it was
Mhm.
the only Chinese martial art that Bruce Lee gave credit to, the Muay Thai guys gave
Yep,
credit to,
yep.
and but like I'm glad Sanda evolved in the late '70s, right? But
Mhm.
like if life were different, I think Choi Li Fu would have just been like the Sanda because
Yeah, yeah.
they
I
had
agree.
everything. They just had
I
too much.
agree.
That was the
I
thing about Chili,
agree.
put too
I
much
agree.
in it.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree 100%.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. So, um, obviously, we could talk a little bit about Shu Xiaodong since we started a little bit with it. When you first discovered Shu Xiaodong, I assume it was probably around the time he first started getting popular, right?
But yes, I believe so. I believe
Yeah.
so.
And
Because I was
you're
always finding out kung fu masters. It's like, huh, this is the interesting. He's the MMA guy. Like I was curious. Curiosity. So
Yeah.
they the main guy, is he Sanda? What is he? Like now this is something I want to see.
Yeah. Yeah. And I assume because you trained in functional styles of kung fu, so your kind of interpretation of Shu was probably so different than a lot of the traditional kung fu community
Oh
because
yeah.
you were
Oh yeah.
doing a form of kung fu. Obviously, Sanda took from other systems too, but
Yes.
it had enough of a kung fu base. You can still call it kung fu Sanda. So it's
Yeah.
like you in your mind, you always knew that there were functional styles of kung fu.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've done research. I know it came from what's it called? Oh my god. It was Eagle, well, not Eagle Claw. I forget the style of Kung Fu now. Yeah, I'm brain. I just had it right when you said it, and as soon as you out the window,
Yeah.
it'll come to me.
Yeah. But so I think there was just when, especially that first fight when Xu Xiaodong and Lele went at it, I think there was just so much misunderstanding because again, Lele looked like he was in his 60s, even though he was like
Yeah.
very early 40s. Like he was a young guy. He just like
Oh
was
yeah.
out of shape, like your average stereotypical kung fu mystical person. He wasn't an old guy, but it looked like Xu Xiaodong was beating up an old master. But actually, Lele was around the age of Xu Xiaodong, and just Xu
Yeah.
Xiaodong looked fit for an MMA guy, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so there's just so
Shoutout
much
looked fit.
misunderstanding.
It was funny. I was like, what? I was like, guys, in my head, I'm watching the video and I'm like, guys, y'all not take consideration. This guy's out of shape. This guy's in shape. So we can't really compare to a certain level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And then the other misunderstanding, which I clarified when I interviewed Xu Xiaodong, was that it looked like they fought in a basement, right? But it was actually in a gym. It was in an MMA gym. In fact, it was my hometown because Lele's from my hometown. It was in an MMA gym up in a high rise. But like
wow.
it looked like it was in someone's basement. And there's this other channel that just like went with that. It's like, yeah, they fought in a basement. It's like, no, they didn't fight in a basement, but it was bad lighting. And of course, because the Tai Chi guy insisted he wanted to be on the floor, right? That's why it looked like they were fighting in a basement because they didn't go into the ring because the Tai Chi's like, yeah, Tai Chi can only be used on the streets. Therefore, we have to be on like, so it's like just everything about that video led to misunderstandings about Xu Xiaodong, even though if you look at it and actually think about it, it actually made Tai Chi look worse. First of all, Lele didn't look in shape. He looked way older. And then on top of that, he was the one that insisted it not being in the ring. So it looked like it was in a basement, an
Yeah,
unsafe
it was
place. Like the Tai Chi side actually made themselves look worse, but because we didn't know about it, we thought it was like Xu Xiaodong bullying.
we thought it was him bullying. In reality, it's like this guy wanted all this to prove no point because he didn't
Yeah,
prove
yeah,
anything that Tai Chi was anything.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure Lele insisted on without gloves, right? So,
Oh my
everything about
god!
that match was
I
Tai
was
Chi
like,
making
okay,
himself
so
look worse.
we're making it bare knuckles. It's gonna be like Wong Fei Ho, Wong Fei.
Yeah, yeah. Jeez. Oh man. Um, are there any leagues that you really want to fight for besides, of course, fighting in Japan or fighting in FightersRep? Are there any other leagues that stood out
There's
to you?
there's a league for Sanda, professional Sanda in Europe. I think
Uh-huh.
it was called Pro Sanda Fight. I'm not sure if they changed the name, but
Uh-huh.
I would love to. I've reached out to them on Instagram that I would love to fight for them, but they're like, dude, we can't afford the plane ticket
Oh.
because it's not they're not making money. It's not bringing them a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I do know there's a promotion out in Brazil, but they offered to pay me what $200 to fight professional Sanda. I was like, no, I'm good.
$200 can't even cover the
I was
plane
like,
ticket, man.
man, what am I? I'm not that desperate. Jesus.
Yeah. Jeez, that's so funny. Yeah, it's like $200 is almost like an FU. It's like might as well not even
I
pay.
was like, yo, you might as well just buy me KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken right now. Cause
Yeah.
what? It's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
There's
But
a league in Japan called Ganryojima. I don't know if you've seen them before,
yes,
but
yes, it's funny that you say Ganryo Jima. I actually watched that for when the first one, my one of my coaches from Fight Sports Deerfield, Jay-Z Cavalcante, fought in Ganryo Jima.
whoa.
He's a pride legend. Jay-Z
Wow.
Cavalcante. He fought Masato as well back in K1.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow, I gotta find that match you're talking about because I don't know if people know. I'm gonna link you this right now, and to anyone
Okay.
who stumbles on this video later, but they have their own YouTube channel. They're just not good at SEO. Like I never found them until years later when YouTube, the recommendation engine, recommended them. But I was looking for the official channel because I've covered them and I want to get in touch with them
Mm.
officially to be like, yo, can I cover more? Slash, can I interview you, et cetera, right? But
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't think they had a channel until years later. I was like, oh, this is their channel. So like, this is the thing about a lot of these Asian promotions. If only they just like put some English characters next to their usual characters, it would SEO better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, but
100%
like, that's why I
agree.
was like, I was just thinking about it. And the other thing I was thinking about was they recently just held another event.
Yes.
So they're still
Yes.
going. I didn't know that they're still going. So
I
like,
thought because I remember Coach Jay-Z. Sorry to cut you off. I remember Jay-Z had told me that they were, I guess they were defunct for a bit or something. Some political stuff happened.
uh-huh.
And then now recently I just saw they're making a show. It looks like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Oh,
like
but
such
that's cool
good
as shit.
editing. Yeah, such
That
good
is cool as shit.
production.
Like, dude, that is cool as hell, bro.
Dude, I found the Jay-Z match.
Yep. There you
Dude,
go.
so like, this is the perfect example of just like lost in translation. Let me show you what it says.
Yep.
It says luta libre versus combat. Like, who's doing, like, what type of combat is it? I assume Jay-Z's doing luta libre.
Yes, Jay-Z's doing Luta Libre.
So what is combat? Like, obviously something
That's
got
what I'm
lost in
saying. Yeah,
translation.
exactly. It's so lost in translation. It's like, what?
Oh, cool. This is awesome. I've never seen this fight before. I'm definitely gonna check this out. So he was one of your coaches back in the day.
He's actually one of my current somewhat coaches right now as we speak.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is a good match. What the translation was supposed to say was combat sambo.
oh,
So this was
combat.
luta libre versus sambo, bro.
That's dope.
Oh my
Dude.
god, I definitely have to cover this.
I have Jay-Z's number if you want it too, man. I get him on here.
Yeah, sure. I mean, give him a heads up, and maybe I'll contact him after your match, and
Definitely,
then I
man.
can set something up with him.
Definitely, man. Definitely. He has
Wow.
stories. He has stories for days, man.
Wow. The guy he fought on Ganryujima was from a organization called Team Gladiator. Gladiator fight team.
That just sounds like it's fixed. Hold
Yeah.
on.
Wow. Dude, I love this. Dude, the quality that this match is, and it was uploaded in 2023 too. The quality's so bad, it's 360p. What the hell? Yeah, I'll show you this. Like, obviously, it's awesome that your coach was here, but like, why is this in 360p? Like, this is why I want to help Ganryujima. Like, they should be doing better than this. Like, but if, like what you said, they went defunct for a little bit, it kind of makes sense. It's like, they're trying to find the ropes again.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. But man, what other fight promotions and stuff do you usually watch?
Oh God. Oh God. This is. I mean, after a while, K1 did fall off.
Mm-hmm.
They're,
Yeah,
they're coming back
unfortunately.
now. They're coming back now to a certain degree. We finally got a Chinese champion,
Mm-hmm.
Olian Feng. So I've been watching that recently. I'm like, oh shoot, finally someone, and he's a Sanda based guy, which is more exciting. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God, because I don't know if you ever saw this controversial video. This is 2003 or 2006. I have it saved on my YouTube. It was Sanda in K1. It was a Sanda fighter in K1. The first time China allowed one of their guys to come over to Japan, and he fought.
Mm-hmm.
And then ever since, Japan banned almost all Chinese fighters for a long time. A long time. Like I can literally, yeah. Let me look really quick for that link, so that way you can watch it. Like, dude, no one's ever covered it. It's a video from 2003.
Mm-hmm.
No one's ever really covered it.
Cool. And while
Mhm.
Xavier looks for that link, I'll just very briefly show everyone. This is his coach. Let's see if we can. Oh yeah, we can see this. Yeah, so this is his coach fighting in the Sambo guy. So let's actually do this. Let's make it smaller. Oh, actually, if I do this, it only shows. Okay, well, so we will have to do this. We'll do it this way. But so I think this is the Sambo guy. And then we'll see his coach, Jay-Z Calvin, real quickly. So Jay-Z's the one on the left side. I've never seen this before. This is so cool. So
Yeah.
look at the cool Mortal Kombat-esque ring. Oh, look at that. A jab and a lead roundhouse kick immediately. The Sambo guy, notice, actually, they're both wearing that type of it's like it's sort of like a gi, but it's got this short sleeve that you can grab. But Sambo guy's getting totally overwhelmed. Look at this. Dude, your coach is scary.
Yeah, he's not friendly when it's down to fight.
Dude, this
It's
Sambo guy is so overwhelmed. But it's cool. Like I was saying, if you look at the uniforms, Sambo's got that short sleeve grip, right? Same with Shuaijiao. Shuaijiao has like a special grip they got for the short sleeve.
Mhm.
And so, like, dude, that's such a cool combo. So it's interesting that these Ganryojima uniforms kind of have that short sleeve grip, almost to help the Samboist, but it's not like the Samboist is using that short sleeve grip. Wow. Anyways, yeah, I don't know if you found the link, but this is not yet. So we'll keep watching this.
Yeah, still looking.
I'll keep watching this. But as of now, the coach of Hurricane Santana, Jay-Z, is completely dominating this match. It's interesting because he's a little lower than what you would expect, like an average kickboxer or boxer. But again, this is not boxing, kickboxing. This is sort of like hybrid rules MMA. So you have to have a little bit more. Oh, what? I don't know what happened. Did he fall? Dude, your coach just fell. Oh no, dude, one mistake and suddenly, oh no. Oh man, he literally just fell. Oh no. Oh man, the Sambo guy won.
Yeah, I think he won this one.
Oh man. I'm gonna slow that down. He literally, I don't know if he got clipped or he fell, but he was doing so well before this. Man, this is another reason, guys. Just watch fights. Don't get into them. Oh, he took a right. Yeah, that dropped him. That's what happened.
I just found the fight, by the way.
Oh, perfect.
It's Wang Sanjin versus Takashi Ono.
Takashi Ono versus Wang Shang. Maybe this one? Let's see. Wang Shang.
San is Sanzhen.
Okay.
No space.
Wang Sanjin. Let's see, Takashi.
There it is. Wait,
this one.
That's Bai Huao. That's a different.
Oh, that's a different one. Takashi Ono. Oh, it's got an H, huh? Takashi Ono.
Yeah.
Oh, this one.
Yes, there we go.
Oh, this was a while ago.
Yeah, man. This is a long time ago.
Wow. Oh, I see. Man, dude, this was the era when like the Sanda people really had a lot to prove. That makes so much sense.
Yes.
So basically, after this, the Japanese were like, we don't want Sanda people on our promotion anymore.
Yep.
Look at that sidekick to the face,
that was
bro.
Beautiful, man.
Wow. And then, of course, the ref's trying to stop the takedowns. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so basically, the Sanda person's going to have to use his superior striking then.
Mm-hmm.
He does look like he's much bigger in weight class. He almost wanted to grab the leg again. You saw it.
Yes.
So he basically has some of the same things that you have. Like, you have to remember, okay, I can grab the leg, but I got to attack. I can't throw.
Yep. That's the tricky part. You know what I mean?
Dude, this era of Sanda, dude, their sidekicks were faster than a push kick, a T.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
you don't these guys
were Sanda as much anymore because Sanda like has switched or changed some of their training styles.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't see that style of sidekick anymore.
Yeah.
Even now, even in the World Wushu games, you rarely see it.
Yeah, exactly. Look at that. Like, he's got the Japanese fighter completely scared of that sidekick now. See, he's trying to grab again. He's trying to grab. Wow, this is really cool. Thank you for showing me.
You're
I
welcome, man.
definitely will cover this match. Thank you, man.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome, brother. Like I said, I'm an encyclopedia. I got fights dating from like 14 years ago saved, where it's like, oh, for Sanda, I got you.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Okay, perfect. So I think, guys, Hurricane Santana and I will definitely do a
Sure.
lot more analysis of like Sanda, because
Mhm.
the fact that I know where to find the good Sanda now. I got our man
Yes,
Santana here to kind of tell me. How many days are you gonna be in LA?
I'm gonna be in. I actually get to LA on next week, Thursday, on the 6th.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
be there till Sunday. I think Sunday night. I believe
Okay,
Sunday
cool.
night. I leave.
Okay, cool.
So
So potentially, if we plan this, and you leave at LAX is your airport, right?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay, perfect. Because I'm in Santa Monica, so I'm not too far from LAX. So
Okay.
if needed, I guess it depends on how fight night goes,
Yeah.
But like
Depends
if
on how
it's
fight night goes.
Sunday,
You
you
know what I mean?
still have time and everything goes well. Maybe you could come over to my place on Sunday and we could record some videos. Well, we'll play it by ear because again, your fight's the most important thing for now.
Oh yeah. By the way, I'm fight number 9 on the card next week.
Okay. Good to
Mhm,
know.
mhm.
Good to know. Wow.
My
Cool.
wife just reminded me. I almost forgot.
So she's gonna be there with you, right?
No, she's not.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Okay.
she would love to, but knowing her, it's more of a panic thing. She'll freak out.
Yeah,
She'll
makes
get
sense.
hurt.
It's like you already have to take a long flight. Yeah, you don't want to take a
Yeah.
long flight to a crazy city just to get more panic.
Right? And I'm like, ah, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. Guys, I think this is the good stopping point. Very likely, and I'll text George Francis. I'll
Mhm.
very likely come out on Saturday just to support.
Awesome.
And
Awesome, dude.
that way I can bring a camera, I could maybe get some
Definitely, bro.
behind the scenes or something. I
Mhm.
don't see the only thing I don't want to do is if it causes more stress for people like you, I won't do it. But if it doesn't cause stress for people like you, I'll come out and I'll support you guys.
Nah, that's
Okay.
good, man. No stress on me. I'm
Yeah.
just there to
Okay.
do work, brother. That's it.
Cool.
Just
Cool.
show what Sanda is capable of at this stage, at this level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my goal, is to
Exactly.
showcase what Sanda. Don't forget, there's other styles of kickboxing. So it's like you guys all Muay Thai, Muay Thai, Muay Thai. It's like, no, you got Chinese Kung Fu too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly. Exactly. So I think very likely we will do more with our man Xavier
definitely,
Hurricane Tana
yes,
next week.
sir.
But either way, guys, for those of you who tuned into this live, awesome. Thank you guys. And for those of you who see it later, thank you guys too. We'll have a lot more to come. And
Mhm.
yeah, thank you again. So people call
You're
you
welcome.
X, huh? People call you X.
Yeah, sometimes they call me X or Xavier.
Okay.
It all varies.
Okay.
I've
Perfect.
gotten Javier, and it's like, what?
Javier. Wow.
Yeah,
So
man.
is Xavier a Puerto Rican name, or is it just a name you were given that isn't of any particular country's origin?
Ah, ooh, you got me with a very tough. I don't know. That's a very
Okay, I
good one.
see.
I really don't know. That's a tough one. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Do you ever go back to Puerto Rico?
Oh, dude, I haven't been since I was what, 7 years old, 6 years old. I haven't
Mhm,
been there since. It's been a long time. I'm
mhm.
planning to go back with my wife, of course.
I see.
Planning to go back. We're also planning to go, to her country as well. So, mhm.
That'll be fun.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it when I went there, man. I missed it. I miss it.
Yeah,
It's different world. Everyone's nice. Everyone, and they take what? How do you say? They take everything as a whole, and they're happy with what
yeah,
they have. They don't
yeah,
want more. You know what I mean? They're happy with their means. They're not, oh, I want this, I want that. You know what I mean? Materialistic. So,
yeah,
mhm.
yeah, exactly. Cool. Good stopping point, everyone. Thank you guys so much. And we will have a lot more from both Fighters Rep and Hurricane Santana. So, anyways,
Sir,
thank you guys.
be easy, guys.
Cool. So we ended the